Mario Party, a certified classic Nintendo game from decades past, notorious for ruining hands and ruining friendships. But did you know that you can speedrun it? Mario Party speedruns come in many forms. The most notable are Minigame Island and Coaster speedruns from 1 and 2, both of which have been showcased through Games Done Quick. But I'm not looking to talk about those categories. I'm here to talk about the real
meat and potatoes.
The category that tests both the body and mind. A speedrun that requires so much patience you'd think they were my parents' divorce lawyers. I'm talking, of course, about the Mario Party all-board speedrun category. In order to complete a run, the runner must complete every board in first place. An easy task, right? I mean, how hard can that be? I'll cut to the chase. It's hard. Way harder than it looks. Even on easy difficulty, you can still feel the bamboozling wrath of John RNG that'll completely ruin your run. Now, every Mario Party has an all boards category on speedrun.com, and while perusing the website, I noticed something. Category extensions. A category extension is a category out of the ordinary, like a 50-star run in Mario 64 as opposed to the main categories like 1670 or 120-star. In this case, for Mario Party, I noticed an extended category completely empty. One that just spoke to me. One I felt needed to be completed. So on April 9th, 2023, I set out to complete the world's first Nintendo 64 Mario Party 1-3 all-board speedrun. Only because triples makes it safe. Triples is best. Something you should know before you attempt a run like this. Nintendo 64 Mario Party all-board speedruns are long, and I mean really long. You gotta make sure your tuchus is ready to stay seated until the teacher tells you can get up and leave. You gotta make sure that hiney has extra support. You'll need it. Starting off this run was Mario Party 1. The rules go as follows. 20 turns on each board, which is the minimum, and all CPUs must be the same difficulty, which I chose easy. And bonus stars can be switched on or off. You'll want them on. I began my run with Wario's Battle Canyon. The reason for that being is that this board is very RNG heavy. Cannons take you all over the board and chances to get a star can't really be planned out. Collect as many as you can and win the bonus stars to ensure your victory. Thankfully, I was able to do just that. Next on the list was the Eternal Star, another heavily RNG based board. Here you'll have to circle around the board and talk to baby Bowsers to get your stars. But before they'll give it to you, you have to pay them 20 coins and play a game as well. Baby Bowser will roll a dice block. If your number is higher than his, you'll get a star. But if it's lower, your coins become property of the IRS and you'll never see them again. Once again, I collected as many stars as I could and took the W with no problems. A side note, if you land on a happening space on this board, it sends everyone back to start. This can be very helpful in keeping CPUs away from the stars. I feel like I'm already gonna run out of ways to introduce these boards, but Bowser's Magma Mountain is next. This board is just difficult. It's rigged for his and her displeasure. One moment, the board is a fine platter of spaces. You got the blues, the mushrooms, the single player spaces. And like Captain Crunch before him, you land on one happening space and you get, oops, all reds. Once again, I took this board out to Applebee's and never called it again because it was a one and done deal. Also, to reiterate, make sure bonus stars are on at all times. This helps in case you get hoodwinked mid-run and can still hold out hope to clutch a victory with the bonuses. Here's where the run takes a bit of a fun turn for me. DKs Jungle. Now this board went entirely smooth. I was in the lead the majority of the time and everything was operating like a well-oiled machine, and what is Luigi doing? That's right, Luigi decided that mercy was not present in this life. In the final 3 turns, he managed to buy a star, steal mine, and buy a 4-star in the next turn since it moved right into his path. Needless to say, I lost this board, and since I did, I would have to play it through again. This was just bad RNG though. I mean, what more could I have done to prevent this travesty? And suddenly the ding in my brain went off like an oven letting you know that you burnt the Christmas roast. I forgot to turn on saving! You have the option to save after every turn on every Mario Party. This allows you to replay a bad turn so you don't have to suffer the consequences of N64 CPU luck. Alas, I threw caution to the wind and put my pinky up like SpongeBob and Sandy's tree dome, exclaiming, "I don't need it!" Until I needed it. Unfortunately, it was too late and I had to replay this board, but we got him the next time around. I could go on and on about the other boards in Mario Party 1, but I'll save you the trouble since writing the script out nearly looks like a college exam and I'm not even halfway through the games yet. I won the rest of the boards. There were some hiccups here and there, but the general consensus of Mario Party 1 in this category is to collect as many stars as you can, win as many mini-games as you can, and hang on for dear life. 1 game down, 2 more to go. After 7 grueling hours of slow-paced Mario Party 1, Mario Party 2 is next, one of my favorite games of all time. And guess what? It's also slow, but at least it has 6 boards as opposed to Mario Party 1's 8. Anywho, Mario Party 2 rules run the same. 20 turns, all CPUs are the same difficulty, and bonus stars are at your discretion. Now, I know I had a lot to say about Mario Party 1. That's because a lot happened. But the Mario Party gods saw my suffering and heeded my prayers. Just as the Lord tooketh away, he giveth. I had pretty much no issues with Mario Party 2. Although, this time I was much more prepared. Save after every turn. I won every board and had a grand time listening to the music and enjoying the costume changes. Honestly, I wish I had more to say, but it was just a fun time playing Mario Party. 5.5 hours later, I was finished and on to the final game. Mario Party 3. Now we're talking. Mario Party 3 is the perfect send-off to this trifecta speedrun. It's got fast CPU movement, a quick and easy save and quit feature for turn resets, and to top it all off, 15 turns is the lowest amount as opposed to 20. A dream come true. Nothing could ruin this, right? Right? In the previous games, you had to complete every board, which you also have to do here. But Mario Party 3 is a different form of approach for this. Story mode. Story mode takes you through all the boards, but also requires that you play through a Battle Royale board as well after each board is completed. The Battle Royale boards are a separate playstyle where you move across a small board with a health bar and partners. The goal is to take out the other player's health with your partner or finish the board with the most coins at the end. But be careful, because your partners take a coin tax each turn, and if you run out of coins, you lose your partner, making yourself vulnerable to attacks. I won't go into too much detail here, but the key to winning these boards is to get the CPU into a vulnerable state and reset each turn until you can mop the floor with them. Obviously, this is all RNG, but thankfully resetting doesn't take long, and you'll usually end up winning much faster doing this than going through the boards normally. On to the game. As I mentioned, Mario Party 3 implements a new feature where you can increase the speed of the CPU's movement, making this game much faster to complete. There's also an extremely rare item that can help you immensely too, the Wacky Watch. When you use the Wacky Watch, it automatically sets the board to the final 5 turns no matter which turn you're on. It's a dream come true for all boards runners. Naturally, I had to find one during my speedrun, right?
Come on now.
Just like Mario Party 2, a couple of turn resets here and there, and I was nearing the end. Except for one problem, Waluigi's Island. During Mario Party 3, my brain was fried from sitting and staring at these games for 16 hours. Making coherent thoughts and making sure I was on track to win this board was just not happening. And on the final turn, I began to panic a little. Peach was in the lead and on track to get another star, and I was stuck on the other side with Waluigi on an island full of chance time spaces. Essentially, I had to keep trying my luck until I either landed on a chance time space and
Won the Goblin's Gold.
or was able to hit the bank space nearby and walk off unscathed. In the end, everything ended up working out, and honestly, I had nothing to worry about. And with that final board, the run was finished. All of the boards had been completed. The quest was over. You have to beat the Eternal Star at the end of story mode. And so the run was almost finished. A final duel with the Eternal Star. 3 hits to victory. There was the first, then the second, and then I choked on the last hit, like a bunch of times. I wanted to be done so badly, but my mind and body were so thrashed from doing Mario Party runs all day that making the last hit felt like Squidward reluctantly trying to take one bite of a Krabby Patty. It was hard, but I made the final hit and stopped the timer. 18 hours, 45 minutes, and 57 seconds. It's funny, at the end of this run I was so fatigued that I couldn't even feel the joy of setting my first and the world's first record in the Mario Party 1 through 3 all boards category. But I had done it. I set out to be the first person to complete this run, and I did. And then I got the best night's sleep I've had in a long time. This is without a doubt one of the most grueling speedruns to complete. It takes so much patience to get through because the first 2 games run so slow. It's definitely up there with some of the longest speedruns known to man that can be completed in a single setting without sleeping. But it can be done. Do I recommend that you try a speedrun challenge such as this? Hell no, go spend some time with your family or loved ones, you goof.